sphere, wherever we are staying, we are living. I know most of your apartments or working places. Therefore, you don't call it as a meditation center or retreat center or ashram. It doesn't matter. But what we are trying to do is to create and generate some meditative energies, meditative vibrations. To support us for our practice. Because of that, we make different activities for today's retreat. Couple of group meditation sessions and few guided meditation sessions and mindful in motion yoga. Also some individual meditation times, chanting and Q&A. Also at the end of the program, we will have free chat time or sharing time. And they are, of course, they are different from each other and maybe opposite to each other. But if you can look at all these activities from a holistic view, only then you can see how this helps you to create your own meditation center in your home. And with this intention, once again, we can do some short group meditation session together. We may hear sounds of Nilambe, birds, birds are talking to us, though we are not able to understand their languages. The trees and the wind, they are also speaking to us. At the same time, our minds are talking, giving some comments, also appreciating what we are doing, asking questions, giving answers, criticizing, and giving us different subjects, topics to think about. Can we hear all these inner voices? One voice is appreciating what we are doing, another voice is criticizing, there is another voice which is asking questions, and another voice is giving answers and suggesting different topics to think. How many outside voices, how many different words, and how many different inner voices, different inner tones and frequencies. Sometimes couple of inner voices are having friendly chat, and sometimes couple of inner voices are arguing with each other. What is our position right now? Are we partners to those dialogues or arguments? Are we in the middle of those sounds? Can we be silent listeners to outer sounds as well as inner voices? Simply be a silent listener. Be a silent listener. Our ears are hearing external sounds, and our mind is remembering, or mind is having thoughts. We know this, we are aware, but we do not take them as serious topics for talking or for arguing. We are not giving any value. Our ears are hearing outside sounds. Our minds are having thoughts. We know this, they are just sounds and thoughts. I have this feeling that that you want to continue this practice with the silence instead of listening to my talk. Because it was so deep for me that our group meditation, your energy was so deep. But unfortunately, as a meditation teacher, I have this karma to talk. I don't know what a karma, but to disturb to meditators. And I know you also like some disturbances. That's why you want to come to Nilambe. Different disturbances. Of course, disturbances are everywhere. But in your homes, in your working places, in your hometown, home village, different distractions are there. And because of them, we think that difficult to meditate, difficult to go deeper into the meditation practice, difficult to walk on this spiritual path. Therefore, we better to go to a retreat center, meditation center, and meditate with the teacher, with the timetable, with very peaceful and calm atmosphere. And we, my dear friends, we all enjoy that type of peaceful, meditative, calm atmospheres. Because it is healing us. In a retreat, I mean in a real retreat, not an online retreat, in a residential retreat, maybe 20 meditators, maybe 30, sometimes even more. But the number of participants, the number of meditators doesn't affect to our practice. For most of the times, actually, looks like nobody is there. When we are in the practice, when we are in, especially in sitting meditation practice, yeah, we all experience this, that it looks like nobody is there. Yeah, intellectually we know the number of participants, maybe 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50. But actually, it's just a number. Slowly, 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 they are disappearing. One by one, disappearing. And later, only ourselves, only yourselves, only myself is there. That is called concentration. When we are fully concentrated on whatever object, fully concentrated, when we are fully focused, then the world is disappeared. The world, it is disappeared. If the world is still there, then how can we say that we are having 100% concentration? Our mind is 100% focused. Only one can happen. Either world is there or focused mind is there. Or 50% of the world and 50% of concentration. Or that can happen. That is possible. But not 100%. Whenever our mind is fully concentrated, then no world, no world, no more world. The world, of course, it returns. It will return whenever we are withdrawing from our concentration. Whenever we are losing our concentration, then slowly the world will be appearing. And my dear friends, someone can go further. Then even we are not there. The world is not there. The other meditators are not there. And finally, we are not there. That doesn't mean that we are in a deep sleep. Of course, we are in a deep sleep, almost same. No world. Nilambe is not there. Monkeys are not there. Cockroaches are not there. Leeches are not there. And we are not there too. But in the deep sleep, our awareness is not there too. Our mindfulness, our consciousness is not there too. That is one of the significant differences between deep sleep and deep meditation. Anyhow, we like all these experiences. We like peaceful environment. We like this external quietness and silence. We like to listen to birds and the wind, trees. We like to listen to them instead of listening to dogs and humans and monkeys. And also, we like to listen to the silence. That's why we like meditation centers, ashrams, retreat centers, and peaceful environments. Mainly because of those identities, those experiences. And they are healing us. They are healing our body. First, they heal our body. And then they heal our mind. Distractions can make us sick. That we know very well. Noises make us sick, physically and mentally. We all are experiencing this. That's why most of us don't like city life, so-called city life. Even though cities give us a lot of facilities and luxuries and comforts, but at the same time, it makes us sick. One can live with all those comforts and luxuries given by the city for a while, and then after a while, looking for a place where completely peaceful, isolation. To recover. And my dear friends, this is very common for everybody, all living beings. I think no any living being likes to stay in a city forever, especially animals. They don't like. They can't. It makes them sick with all kinds of pollutions, light pollution, air pollution, and sound pollution. And we are same. We are also living beings. So we all need some kind of physical retreats, even though we do not meditate. And as meditators, especially as meditators, we like silence very much. Me too. And you too. Because this external silence is giving us a lot of space for ourselves and also for our meditation practice. It is easier to do, especially sitting meditation, in a quiet environment than a busy and noisy environment. It is relatively easier. That's why often we say this, it's difficult to meditate in our homes. So whenever you come to Nilambe and whenever I ask this question, how was your meditation? How was your practice? Then what I have heard mostly, we were doing our best, but it's not easy. It is not easy. Sometimes it is not possible to meditate in a busy life, in a noisy place. If it is possible, then we don't have to come to Nilambe. So Nilambe is existing because of what? Because of the noisy world. If the whole world is completely calm and quiet, then the Nilambe cannot exist any longer, anymore. Because of this, dear friends, in a subtle way, we dislike sounds. Even in Nilambe, even in a meditation retreat, maybe we hear very small, very subtle sounds, like the clock. But we think it is disturbing. It is disturbing to our practice. Therefore, this also I often heard from different meditators, and they asked me to remove the clock from the meditation hall. They say it is disturbing. And some meditators I know, they changed the sitting places. They don't like to sit next to the clock because it's noisy. And sometimes you can remember this, that sometimes we can hear this sound of water dropping from the outside water gutters, drain line, from the roof of the meditation hall. Tuck, 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 something like that. And yes, I heard this, that some people do this, did this request. Can we change this water drain system? Because it's noisy, not possible to meditate. Because it is always like that, tick, tick, tick. We can do, dear friends. It is not a problem to remove the clock from the meditation hall and remove the gutters, water drain system. That is possible. Everything is possible. What is impossible is to be a silent listener. That is not possible if we are fighting against sounds. If we think we cannot achieve inner silence because of those noises, we cannot go deeper into the practice because of those sounds, then of course we cannot. We cannot. One of my friends, he had this problem for a long time. He was living next to a tourist hotel in Kandy, in downtown, and he often did this complaint. Whenever he wants to sleep, that is the time that the hotel starts to dance with music, with sounds, and it is very loud, and it goes hours and hours. So he often told us that no way to sleep, no way to sleep until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. whenever the hotel becomes calm, only then he said he could sleep. Otherwise, it's impossible. And he was asking some meditative hints or guidelines or advices to work with this issue. And we have given him many hints or advices or guidelines, but none of them worked. And you may know this, that in 1989, 1990, in that time in Sri Lanka, we had a kind of troubles, looks like a civil war, not the latest one, but a different one. So lot of troubles, lot of violence were there during that time. So everybody was afraid of those violence. Nobody knows what is going to happen, who comes to home, who is going to being killed. Nobody knows. And then this our friend, he said, in the night time, whenever the dark comes, fear comes too, because fear follows the darkness. Maybe some people with weapons, they come and they may kill me. I am alone here. I am alone. So with this aloneness makes a lot of fear. So he couldn't sleep with the fear. And then the hotel starts to dance, music, sounds. And then he had this feeling, I am not alone. I am not alone. Lot of people are next to me. And whenever he listened to those musics, then he could sleep. He went to sleep easily. So same music, same loud music. In the beginning, he couldn't sleep. But later, he was waiting for that music to sleep. So what is the secret? I can remember something what I have read. A quotation. One of the modern music composers called John Milton or John Cage. He was in the last century, very famous one. And he said this, if you dislike the music, then the music becomes a noise. If you dislike the music, then the music becomes a noise. And if you start to enjoy a noise, then the noise becomes a music. What a powerful words. What a wisdom. Really, what a wisdom. If we hate or if we don't know how to enjoy the violin or piano, then it's an ugly noise. Really, it's an ugly noise. And if we know how to enjoy whatever noise, maybe a car, maybe a motor, whatever, then it becomes a music. Beautiful music. Who has the power? Who has the power to transform noise into a music or music into a noise? Not the composer, the listener, you and me. We have this power. We are very powerful. We don't know, but we are very powerful. We have this entire power to transform whatever noise into a music or whatever music into a noise. So, my dear friends, as meditators, we are learning this art of music. Of course, we do not use these terms in meditation retreats, but in a way, this is one of the things what we are learning. The art of music, the art of silence, the science of silence. It is up to us to make any sound as a music, melodical music, or an ugly noise. It's 100% up to you and me. So once we realize this mechanism, I can do this. I can make any noise as a sound, as a music. So what a beauty, what a relief, what a freedom. We can change the frequency of any sound. We can. We don't need any machine for that. We are changing, of course. We all are doing this. Consciously or unconsciously. Whenever we start to listen to something, then immediately we are giving different colors, different shapes, different vibrations onto that sound. We are modifying it. We don't know. Really, we are not conscious on that. But our conditional mind is doing this. And that's why certain sounds are beautiful only for certain people. And certain sounds are very ugly for some other people. Same sound. And for time to time, same sound can be a very melodical music. Also, for another time, can be a very ugly noise, loud noise for a same person. What is the secret? Because we are changing the frequency of whatever we hear. We have this ability to change the vibrations, the waves, the radiations, and the frequencies of whatever we experience. Not only whatever we hear, whatever we experience, we can change the colors of pictures, of sceneries. We can change the taste of whatever we are eating. Actually, the chef or the person who is cooking, the person who cooks the food is adding only few flavors. But the person who is eating is adding a lot of flavors to the plate, to the food, to the drink, more than the chef. But those flavors are invisible. No one can see. And even the person who is eating, he or she doesn't know what I am adding to this what flavors that I am adding to this food or drink.
So you are muted. So you are muted.
We really don't know what the pure world is, because the world, what we experience, is our own creation. We personalize it. And we are experiencing two different energies or feelings or emotions, so-called negative emotions and positive emotions, or negative feelings and positive feelings. We know what the negative emotions are or negative feelings are: fear or hatred. It's difficult to say that they are positive or jealous. So we have a list for negative emotions. They are negative. And then, of course, we have a list for positive emotions: love, compassion, friendliness, mercifulness, kindness, joy. So they are, I think we all can agree for that, they are very positive. They are examples for positive feelings or positive emotions. And what is the criteria to make these two categories? How we label, how we make these labels? This is negative and that is positive. Hatred is negative and the love or compassion is positive. Because of the vibration, not because of anything. Even though we do not know the word hatred or anger or fear, whatever, even though we do not hear these terms or concepts or ideas or names, but we all experience the vibration. Physically, even physically, we experience the vibration. Each emotion has its own vibration, own wavelength, own frequency. Own color and own shape, each emotion. And the body, our bodies, the physical body is very uncomfortable when we are having those so-called negative emotions. The body doesn't say this, I enjoy your anger. Whenever you are angry, I'm happy. It's good for me. I think no any single cell of our body tells us this. Please be angry. It's good for me, good for my health, good for my long life. No, the body says, always the body says this, I'm suffering. I am suffering. Too much. I cannot bear this. I cannot bear this. The mind can bear. Of course, the mind can bear. Even mind can enjoy the anger. Of course, mind is different. But the body says, this is too much. Too much. I cannot bear this anymore. Please find a way to overcome those negative emotions. This is the message, what we are receiving from the body whenever we are having negative emotions. The body doesn't know anything about karma. Really, the body doesn't know any teachings of the karma. The body doesn't know about the next life or previous life or the enlightenment or the hell or heaven. The body doesn't have those concepts. But what the body says is, I am suffering now. Here and now, I am suffering. Please help me. Take care of me. This is too much. So if we are sensitive to the body, even though we are not sensitive to our emotions, but if we are sensitive enough to our body, then we can hear this message. Otherwise, we cannot hear. If we are not sensitive enough to the body, then we are not able to get this subtle message. So that's why in the meditation, always we are encouraging to listen to the body, listen to the body, listen to the body. This is one of the benefits of listening to the body. Body is always speaking about the present situation. The body doesn't know anything about the past or future. The body doesn't know any philosophy, any religion. This is not a religion. Because of any religious teachings, the body doesn't say, don't be angry. You are a Buddhist, or you are a Catholic, or you are a Hindu, or you are a Jew, or whatever. Therefore, don't be angry. That is mind business. The mind says this. The mind says, you are a Buddhist, you are a meditator, you are a very good Catholic, Christian, Hindu, Islam. Therefore, don't be angry. But it doesn't help us. The body doesn't know any those things. The body doesn't know what the Buddhism is, what the Buddha taught us. The body doesn't know anything about Christianity or the Jesus or the Krishna or the prophet. No. But The body has this beautiful wisdom, very beautiful and very practical. It says, I am suffering here and now. Right now, I am suffering. So please do something to let go of this hatred, let go of this anxiety, let go of this greediness. Only then I can work for you as long as you live. Otherwise, I may not be able to serve you. So what a powerful message that our body is giving us. If we are sensitive enough, if we have this physical awareness, only then we can listen to it. We can hear it. That means we have to be silent. Otherwise, what happens is the mind is going to teach to the body. The mind is trying to justify those emotions. I have rights to be angry. I have rights to be afraid of this. Whatever. So if the mind is talking, if the mind is giving answers and justifying, then the voice of the body is disappearing because it is subtle. The body is not a fighter. The mind is a fighter. There is no competition. No competition for the body, but for the mind, yes. Yes. So we had to make the mind silence. Only then the wisdom starts to speak. This is another beauty of meditation. Whenever the knowledge, the intellectual knowledge, the conceptual knowledge be silent, then the wisdom starts to speak. They are not talking together. If one is there, then the other one is not there. So, my dear friends, we have a choice. We have this choice. We can be a listener of our own intellectual knowledge. We can be a listener to our own intellectuality, which is part of the past. Or we have a beautiful choice to be a listener to the present wisdom. To listen to the past intellectuality, of course, we need to talk, argue. We need logical mind, argumentative mind. Of course, they are important. They are useful. But to listen to the present wisdom, we had to be silent, fully. We had to be silent. We had to be a silent listener. And then the wisdom comes. We are always looking for wise teachers. Wise teachers. We think the wisdom belongs to the teacher. It belongs to the teacher. whenever we think in this way, of course, we can be a very humble students, very humble pupils, and very good followers, but not a wise one. We can't be a wise person. The wisdom, my wisdom, is not rely on any master. And your wisdom too, it is not rely on any teacher. Who knows about you? Who knows about me? So that's why it's called wisdom. It comes within. It is always speaking to us. The problem is we cannot hear. We cannot understand. We cannot understand the language of wisdom. The language of wisdom is silence. Silence. That's the language. Dear friends, whenever we are having so-called negative emotions, physically we experience unpleasant vibrations in that moment. Physically, we experience unpleasant vibrations, unpleasant sensations, unpleasant radiations, waves, movements. And whenever we are having pleasant feelings, then we are experiencing pleasant vibrations physically, pleasant radiations, pleasant waves. So whenever we are in a place like Nilambe, we physically experience pleasant vibrations. Whenever we are in a noisy city, even physically we experience unpleasant vibrations. That can happen. Mostly that can happen. And that's the reality. So that's why we are trying to create calm environments, peaceful environments. And whenever we create peaceful environments, then the energies are peaceful, vibrations are peaceful, waves are peaceful, radiations are peaceful. And as I said earlier, they are healing our body and healing our mind. And then we go to this extreme. We think that we can create the silence. And we blame others that they do not create silence. They make noises. So when we criticize others or when we blame them that they are making noises, that means we expect them to create the silence. We expect them to create the silence. And we think they can create the silence. We can create the silence. But my dear friends, we can create many things. negative things, positive things, but not the silence. Not the silence. Whatever we create, it has a wave. It has a vibration. It has a radiation. It has a wave. Whatever we create. So therefore, the silence is not a creation created by anyone. That famous music composer, John Milton or John Cage, once he was invited to a studio, very modern studio, and he went there. That studio is a soundproof and echo-proof. And he was there inside of this studio for a while. And then he said this to the owner of that studio: I hear two sounds. John Milton or John Cage says this: I hear two sounds. Then the owner of that studio says, yes, one is your heartbeat, sound of your heartbeat, and the next one is sound of your pulse. And John said yes. And later John says this: it is impossible to create silence. It is impossible to create 100% silence. Not only difficult, it is impossible. That's very true. It is impossible to create the silence. We can create many things, but whatever we create, even the love, it has its own wavelength. It has its own vibration, own sound, own color, own shape. It doesn't matter whether they are positive or negative. Positive feelings have positive vibrations and negative feelings have negative vibrations. Therefore, each feeling has its own sound. But silence is different. It is neither positive nor negative. This is one of the very rare things which is neither positive nor negative. It is none of our creations. And we think as meditators, we can create the silence. Of course, we can calm down the mind. We can reduce the inner noises. That is possible. We can reduce. But we cannot create the silence, even the inner silence. If we try to create the inner silence, then we create a fight with the inner voices, with the inner sounds. And whenever we start to fight with the inner voices, then it becomes a noise. Huge noise. So the meditator cannot create the silence, but the silence can create a meditator. This is the thing what I have understood or what I am understanding. And whenever I was reflecting on this theme, I don't know who have suggested this theme, but when I was contemplating on this topic today, this morning, this is the idea, understanding came to my mind. Meditators cannot create the silence by meditating, but the silence creates a meditator. Let the silence create meditation. It is difficult. With the ego, it is difficult. So we had to be very aware on our ego, because the ego thinks I can do everything. I can make noises and I can make silence. Actually, whenever we are detached from the ego, whenever we are not attached to the ego, when we are not depending on the ego, only then we can let the silence meditate. Then we are completely a different being. Completely a different being. Only then we can say this, we are silent listeners. We are completely silent listeners. Sounds are going through us. They are always vibrations, waves. We cannot stop. They are going through us. But we are not multiplying them. We are not being an amplifier. The most important part of the meditation is listening. Listening. Not talking. Not verbal talking, and not intellectual talking, not inner talking, not inner chatting. They are nonsense. Really, they are nonsense. We can meditate with them, of course. We can go for a while with all those external talks, internal talks, intellectual talks, so and so, but only for short distance. But with the silence, we can go for a long journey, a beautiful journey, and we can be a real humble pupil, a real devotee who can learn from the wisdom, who can learn from the wisdom. Thank you very much, dear friends. So we have some individual times now. Please do your own practice in your own way, walking meditation, or eating meditation, or sitting meditation. Just try to be aware on the ego. The ego means I can do things, I can control, I can avoid. That's the ego. Let us listen to the ego and let the ego go, and just see what this moment, what this present moment is telling us, what the lesson is here and now. How far we can be silent, that much lessons are there, written in silence. The language is silence. So please make some friendly, gentle effort for this until we meet later for the discussion. Thank you very much.